What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the non-league football show on the Football Nation podcast. I hope you're all well. I'm really sorry that I've been so long in bringing you this next episode, but I really thought today was the day to break the silence coming out of the non-league show for probably the biggest news to come out of the non-league in forever. There's never been bigger news, I don't think. And that is that Wrexham have gone and signed Ben Foster. I mean, it's upset a lot of fans. Let's be very, very clear about this. This transfer has upset a large number of fans who are now screaming from the rafters that Wrexham are buying the league and that, you know, it shouldn't be allowed and all this other stuff. And the fact is, if you listen to the man himself, he's openly said it's peanuts what he's on. He's openly said all he asked for was his hotel to be paid for if he had to stay over, to pay for his travel, that kind of thing. And this is a guy who, again, openly admits that Wrexham are the club that are responsible for springboarding his career. He acknowledges that without Wrexham, he probably doesn't get that transfer to Manchester United, because when he played for us in 2005, which we had, and what a team, by the way, we had back then. Darren Ferguson, Juan Ugarte, who scored, both of those players scored in the LDV Vans final down in Cardiff against Southend. Because Darren Ferguson was our captain and our main, our mainstay of that midfield, Sir Alex Ferguson came and watched us an awful lot and got to see Ben Foster firsthand while he was on loan with us. And it meant that he got the transfer from Stoke to Manchester United. And he openly admits that that loan deal with us, with Wrexham, is the main catalyst of his career. It's the springboard that shot him from Stoke City to Manchester United. And it probably doesn't happen without the loan deal. That said, why has this transfer come about? Well, it's come about because Rob Layton has suffered the Bromley curse again. I've never known a player to go to a ground and get injured so often as an away player. So, unfortunately, Rob has suffered ligament damage in his knee after getting his studs caught in the 3G pitch at Bromley at the weekend. So that means that we needed the goalkeeper anyway. And we went out and we signed arguably the best goalkeeper available on a free transfer. The fact we were able to coax him out of retirement. What might be interesting as well, if he plays really well in these eight games, do we offer him a deal for next season? Rob Layton is injury prone. Mark Howard hasn't really set the world alight. He's done well. Don't get me wrong, we're in this position that we're in because Mark Howard has played very well over the course of the season, but you've got a chance to sign Ben Foster, and if he's fit and if he's able to perform, do you keep him on for another year? It's a big question. That will obviously be one that Phil and Sean Harvey and Robin Ryan will have to discuss. But the other transfer, obviously coming out of Wrexham, is Waters from Barrow. Now, he played for Halifax last year and actually bagged, I think it was 18 goals last season. So he's a player who knows where the goal is. He's not. I think people look at the players we sign and go, "Oh, you've probably paid the world for him." But the fact is, he's probably going to be a backup player to Paul Mullin and Ollie Palmer. He's not going to be a player that is going to, push one of those aside. However, that said, I'd love to see Mullin up front with a quick, pacey striker like Billy Waters, who 5'9", isn't going to be used as a target man. It might force us to play the ball on the floor a little bit more, like we did at Coventry when we didn't have Ollie Palmer up there and Sam Dolby was playing as the target man, but not as a target man. The ball was on the floor a lot more. So that is obviously, something else to consider. Elsewhere, Chesterfield announced the departure of Danny Rowe. He is left to go elsewhere, and obviously he has gone to York, which is a massive signing for them. We play, York play Wrexham on Saturday, so could he feature? Could he be the big difference in that result? And if so, what a deal that would be for York. There are other deals, obviously we're going through them, and they're still going on now. Gerard Benford is back at Weymouth. He's gone from Salisbury.
Kettering have signed Peterborough goalkeeper Will Lakin on loan. So that's a really good signing for Kettering and could be the difference in them staying up. So we will keep an eye on that one. Now, obviously, we don't really want to focus on just the Ben Foster deal. There are other big things coming. Woking have announced Charlie O'Connell over the line today, and they've also signed Charlie Wakefield from Yeovil on loan. So 2 brilliant transfers for Woking, and again, that could make the difference come playoff time. What a season Woking have as well. When you look at the 2 teams that are above them, that are Wrexham and Notts County, who are both having record-breaking seasons, Woking have been sensational, and because of that have flown under the radar a little bit. I don't think that's overly fair. But, this is just the way of the world when you've got 2 teams like Wrexham and Notts County. Welling United have confirmed the signing of Daniel Nkrumah. He's signed from Leyton Orient, a really good signing for them as well. But the big deal of the day for me, when we look at the transfers, and it's not a transfer. It's not, it's a transfer of sorts, but it's not a player. Oldham, and congratulations to the club and to every Oldham Athletic fan. You have announced that you have completed a deal to own Boundary Park. What an amazing deal that is for Oldham Athletic. It is a club that I have a soft spot for. I know there are portions of every fan who don't like my club, but I have a soft spot for Oldham. They are a team that I think deserve to be in the Football League. Similar to Notts County, similar to Wrexham, I think these are clubs that deserve to be up there. But, you are where you are on merit as well, I suppose. But congratulations to Oldham. That is huge news coming out of Oldham Athletic today. Now, what we also have to look at is the games that are coming up this weekend. So let's have a look at the fixtures. Obviously, we have York City visiting the Racecourse Ground on Saturday in a big game now, with obviously Ben Foster being there, as well as Rowe for York. Billy Waters, obviously, in at Wrexham as well. Could we see him feature? Could he cause trouble for the York back line? We've got Chesterfield going to Halifax Town. How will Chesterfield cope without Rowe? Who knows, but Chesterfield have been doing all right lately, so you'd expect them to beat Halifax. Boreham Wood welcome Eastleigh, where Maidstone welcome Woking. Solihull visit the newly owned Boundary Park as they travel to Oldham. Southend at Altrincham, Gateshead at Aldershot, Maidenhead travel to Dorking. So you'll be able to see highlights of that one on YouTube on the Bunch of Amateurs podcast. The big game I'm keeping an eye on, aside from the one at the Racecourse Ground, however, is at Notts County, which is Scunthorpe, and that is a 3 o'clock kickoff. There are no early or late games, I don't think, this weekend in the National League. Notts County are just on the verge. They're just in a little bit of danger for me of the wheels coming off what has been a sensational season. Their manager is obviously trying to play mind games with saying things like the season is done, we can't get automatic promotion, etc. Now, obviously, they're 4 points behind. They do have played a game more than Wrexham. So there is that issue there that if Wrexham win that game in hand, that gap becomes 7th. But there are tough games for both sides coming up. And this season, for me, I've said it for a long time, will always be decided by the 10th of April. We don't know what would happen should Wrexham suffer a defeat. Could they spiral? We will wait and see. Notts County lost at the weekend. Now, are they going to bounce back like champions-elect, or are they going to feel sorry for themselves? And as Scunthorpe visit them, are Scunthorpe going to leave with the points? We just don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting to see which way this goes. Elsewhere, Dagenham and Redbridge travel to Torquay. Bromley go to Yeovil and Barnet go to Wealdstone. So it's a good weekend for fixtures. Make sure you check out the highlights that will be on all the relevant YouTube channels. I think it's normally 11:30 at night they get released. So, keep an eye out for them. So that is it. The big news coming out of the Championship the National League is that Ben Foster is signed for Wrexham. What a signing. I can't get over it. He's a player that, I was lucky enough to see at Wrexham first time, and when he retired and all the Wrexham fans were tweeting him, I didn't really think we'd see him there, but we have, and it's good times. And do you know what?
can I just say this as well? There's a lot of clubs that are slagging him off, right? Whatever you think of him and you think of Wrexham, I'm going to end this week's show on here at this point. Is this transfer and what the documentary Welcome to Wrexham is doing, as the Bromley manager said, is only increasing the awareness of all the other clubs, the league, and it's only attracting new players and new fans and new investment. The fans that are online spouting hatred and bile are only doing it because they are jealous that their own clubs are unable to do what Wrexham, Notts County, Salford, Stockport have all done. Football fans just need to look at the bigger picture and the exposure that your club is getting. As the Bromley manager said, what this has done is be massive for those clubs. Take that and just have a think about it if you are one of those fans that's been on Twitter today spouting hatred and bile, because you really need to just grow up. Anyway, I will bring you another episode on Sunday as we review all the action from the weekend and we review what happened at Wrexham, because obviously it's my team. That's who I tend to focus on a little bit. I am looking for people as well before we end, to come and do this show with me. Obviously, I'm aware that I focus quite heavily on my team. I'd like to build up and have a couple of people who can do a bit on their teams as well. If you're interested, please go to the Football Nation podcast Twitter page and drop us a message on there. That would be amazing. Or join the Discord and give me a shout. I'll see you all soon, guys. You have a great day.